This is a message to Canada and all the American Tawagheet. We are coming and we will destroy you bidnillahi ta'ala.
Terrifying. Looks like an accountant who's very angry. Now, the most extreme armed faction in Syria has threatened to destroy Canada, as you see. Speaking in rather good English, a member of the Islamic State in Iraq and the Levant said in an online video that after fighting in the Middle East, the group would turn on North America. Well, what a surprise. Some of us have been warning of this for many years. Marc Lebouy is a writer who monitors Islamic extremism and terrorism, and he joins us now from Montreal. Sir, are you surprised?
Absolutely not. We've been exporting quite a bit of people from over here abroad that has become terrorists and jihadists who have been participating in foreign conflicts.
There are some people, they're not apologists, but I think they're useful idiots, really, who always claim if only there was equality and prosperity in the Middle East and the Islamic world, it would all be fine because Islamists don't want to hurt the West. We know that's untrue. They're telling us now it's untrue.
Well, they've been telling us all the time. Now this one is just saying it in blunt and clear language. He's naming Canada quite clearly. And he's even talking with clear Islamic terms. So he's talking about a migration terminology that means a hijra, which is like a pilgrimage to go over there in order to do the jihad. And violent jihad, let's be very clear now, this is not soft jihad, this is not internal struggle. This is military jihad with the aims of establishing Sharia law, with the aims of killing people in order to establish Sharia law.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who think they understand Islam, but they don't. I mean, there is a greater jihad, a smaller jihad, and part of this is internal struggle for cleansing and purity, but also, historically and in the present time, there is the call for violence. Now, when attacks have occurred in the UK, appalling attacks, in Spain, in the United States, still, a lot of people say, oh, no, we have to be more understanding. I mean, God forbid there is an attack in Canada. God forbid. But if there was, would it even change anything?
Well, we had the Toronto 18 as a reminder of what could happen when people get radicalized and what kind of plot that they can do. And now as more and more, and we're also having the Khawaja affair that reminded us that some people could actually be infiltrated inside some of the most sensitive departments of the Canadian establishment. This one with Khawaja was the Foreign Affairs, and they transmitted information to other operatives elsewhere. But what's more important here is the former director of CSIS, Richard Fadden, clearly stated about a year ago, he said that there are Canadians, and I repeat, Canadians, people with Canadian nationality, involved in every single case of Al-Qaeda affiliates around the world. So Syria is only one of the theater where the jihadists are operating. We're talking about southern Philippines, we're talking about Thailand, we're talking about the Kashmir in India. We're talking about everywhere there are Canadians involved in jihadists. We are now a net exporter of jihadists in the world.
That is quite incredible. We are so complacent and rightly proud of our country. We think we're peaceful, we've embraced pluralism, it works here, and for the most part it does. But we are exporting people who were either born here or educated here, formed here, socialized here, to go out to countries that have an Islamic minority or majority and slaughter people.
And here's what's interesting, and if we read the report that just came out through the National Post through Stuart Bell, if you'd read the language, we're talking, I'm just going to read you a phrase that's very interesting and doesn't help us to really understand the problem, but they're talking here about, and I quote them, foreign fighters who, when they should return. So they're foreign fighters, and when they should return to Canada, return, that means they're Canadian. So they're foreign fighters coming back to Canada, and these people will be radicalized when they come back and they cause a threat, as if they weren't radicalized before they left. So this is the real issue here. We're having a problem, Canada, the UK, a little bit in the United States, and even some of them in Australia. We're having a problem where we have allowed, not so much, it's not the immigration that's the problem, it's the people that we're entrusting with welcoming these people coming from places that classically were creators of jihadists, who are now incubating these newcomers and also the children's of the more secular parents of these people to become radicalized. We're not talking about internet here. We're not talking about being radicalized in Syria, because you had to be motivated from Canada to be able to leave here and be motivated to get over there and again get the military training to become a soldier.
Yeah.
So we're having one heck of a huge, big problem, because the people that are in charge of security, what they're telling us is that they're being radicalized over there, and we should be concerned when they come back.
Yeah. Now, I don't know who that person was, but I do know Syria a little. He didn't look Syrian to me. Many Syrian people, I think the majority, are actually fairly secular. Christianity has long been tolerated. It's a country that, even with a brutal dictator like Assad, not a man I admire, but it did work. There was literacy. There was a certain value and virtue of life. People from Canada, origins in another part of the world, going to Syria to help destabilize and destroy it. What a situation, and there are still people who deny and refuse to embrace the truth. We have to change the way we regard this situation. Sir, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Michael.